Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's my pleasure to appear before you in the committee today on behalf of Apple. We appreciate your invitation and the opportunity to be part of the discussion on this important issue, which centers on the civil liberties that are at the foundation of our country. I want to repeat something that we've said since the beginning, that the victims and the families of the San Bernardino attacks have our deepest sympathies. We strongly agree that justice should be served, and Apple has no sympathy for terrorists. We have the utmost respect for law enforcement and share their goal of creating a safer world. We have a team of dedicated professionals that are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, to assist law enforcement. When the FBI came to us in the immediate aftermath of the San Bernardino attacks, we gave them all the information we had related to their investigation. And we went beyond that by making Apple engineers available to advise the FBI on a number of investigative alternatives. But now we find ourselves at the center of a very extraordinary circumstance. The FBI has asked a court to order us to give them something that we don't have, to create an operating system that does not exist. The reason it doesn't exist is because it would be too dangerous. They are asking for a backdoor into the iPhone, specifically to build a software tool that can break the encryption system which protects personal information on every iPhone. As we have told them, and as we've told the American public, building that software tool would not affect just one iPhone. It would weaken the security for all of them. In fact, just last week, Director Comey agreed, and I think we heard the same here today, that the FBI would likely use this as precedent for other cases involving other phones. We've heard from District Attorney Vance, who's also said that he absolutely plans to use this tool on over 175 phones that he has in his possession. We can all agree this is not about access to one iPhone. The FBI is asking Apple to weaken the security of our products. Hackers and cyber criminals could use this to wreak havoc on our privacy and personal safety. It would set a dangerous precedent for government intrusion into the privacy and safety of its citizens. Hundreds of millions of law-abiding citizens trust Apple's products with the most intimate details of their daily lives. Photos, private conversations, health data, financial accounts, and information about a user's location and the location of that user's family and friends. Some of you may have an iPhone in your pocket right now, and if you think about it, there's probably more information stored on that device than a thief could steal by breaking into your house. The only way we know to protect that data is through strong encryption. Every day, over 1 trillion transactions occur safely over the internet as the result of encrypted communications. These range from online banking and credit card transactions to the exchange of healthcare records, ideas that will change the world for the better, and communications between loved ones. The U.S. government has spent tens of millions of dollars through the Open Technology Fund and other U.S. government programs to fund strong encryption. The Review Group on Intelligence and Communications Technology, convened by President Obama, urged the U.S. government to fully support and not in any way subvert, weaken, or make vulnerable generally available commercial software. Encryption is a good thing. We need it to keep people safe. We have been using it in our products for over a decade. As attacks on our customers' data become more sophisticated, the tools we need to use to defend against them need to get stronger too. Weakening encryption will only hurt consumers and well-meaning users who rely on companies like Apple to protect their personal information. Today's hearing is entitled Balancing America's Security and Privacy. We believe we can and we must have both. Protecting our data with encryption and other methods preserves our privacy and keeps people safe. The American people deserve an honest conversation around the important questions stemming from the FBI's current demand. Do we want to put a limit on the technology that protects our data and therefore our privacy and safety in the face of increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks? Should the FBI be allowed to stop Apple or any company from offering the American people the safest and most secure products it can make? Should the FBI have the right to compel a company to produce a product it doesn't already make to the FBI's exact specifications and for the FBI's use? We believe that each of these questions deserves a healthy discussion, and any decision should only be made after a thoughtful and honest consideration of the facts. Most importantly, the decisions should be made by you and your colleagues as representatives of the people, rather than through a warrant request based on a 220-year-old statute. As Judge Ornstein concluded yesterday, granting the FBI's request would thoroughly undermine fundamental principles of the Constitution. At Apple, we are ready to have this conversation. The feedback and support we're hearing indicate to us that the American people too. We feel strongly that our customers, their families, their friends, and their neighbors will be better protected from thieves and terrorists if we can offer the best protections for their data. At the same time, the freedoms and liberties we all cherish will be more secure. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to your questions.